Well, good afternoon. Good day again, beautiful people out there. Rodney Shropshire coming at you again on an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, and blessed day. So, we kind of got back into the arts on the last video, and I got a little less philosophical with you. So, I appreciate you hanging in there with me. One of the things that I really enjoy about the spring and the summer and the fall is being able to get outdoors, okay? Not only just to enjoy nature and the sunshine, but you can actually get outside and be creative. You know, it's it's a place I, as you know, enjoy. So being able to get outside, work on paintings, work on drawings, play some guitar, which I'm not good at, uh, and do some writing. Uh, Warms my soul. So whatever it is that warms your soul, beautiful people, do it today. Find some time for yourself. It's very, very important. As I said, to me, art is all about having fun. It's all about experimenting, um, finding your gel, finding your vibe. Um, and sometimes that takes a lot of experimenting. You're going to need a lot of tools of the trade if you decide you want to go into the visual arts, such as painting and so forth. And, and there are, I don't call them tricks to the trade. Uh, there's ways that you can find the medium that you enjoy working with. There's nothing I like more than the ambiance of oil paints, the smells of the turpentine, the slowness of the way the paints dry, but they're not always practical. Um, so obviously, I do most of my work in acrylics. Acrylics can be just as flexible uh, as the oil paints if you know just a couple of things that you can do to slow down that drying process. Um, if you're doing a lot of quick stuff, acrylics can work just as well as oils. But if you're doing things that you're going to take some time with and want some blending and want some time with, I'll share with you today a few of the things that I've actually learned about acrylics, okay? But as you delve into creating with whatever your medium is, whether that's writing, whether that's dancing, whether that's singing, there's always things we can do that, make our lives a little easier as we're exploring the worlds of the arts. Uh, One of the things that I'd like to talk to you about is in the creative and experimenting process is always remember we were created in this universal God's image. And don't ever forget that if God can create this beautiful universe, this wonderful planet, oh, it's Earth Day, so take care of this Earth, and this beautiful planet that we live on, and we were created in that image, then we can create our own lives. So don't be afraid. Just step out of your comfort shell and let's get down to creating together. A couple of things that I have found, as I mentioned earlier, oil paintings are nice, okay? they have that romantic ambiance and smell and an amazing look to them. The masters taught us from the art of using oils, pigment, and turpentines. But in our modern world, I have found little ways to expand the versatility of acrylic. Now, I'm not going to be showing you the brands. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your comments or questions about it. But I'll share some of the things that I have found as I've been painting mostly in the past 3 years with acrylics that have given me the flexibility with the pigment that I found with the oils. Number one, you're going to need a pencil, you're going to need a piece of paper, and you're going to need a canvas. Now, when it comes to canvases, I prefer stretched canvases. I like museum quality canvases that are stretched. Um, but when you're beginning, if you're afraid to begin, uh, canvas panels are fine. They're a lot less expensive. They're going to be a lot easier for you to find framing for, and give you versatility. And you don't feel bad if you just slide them to the side and start over. But I like a nice stretch canvas when I paint. Of course, you're going to need an easel. You have to have an easel when you paint that you can stand in front of and celebrate life with. And then you're going to need an assortment of paintbrushes, lots of paintbrushes. That's just a small sample. As a matter of fact, anytime I see paintbrushes on sale, I buy them whether I need them or not, because I just like the different effects I can get from different brushes. You will also, if you're going to be working in acrylic and your concern is the dry time, acrylics dry fast, so you don't have the fluidity of moving the pigments like you do with oils. But I have found that if I use a glazing liquid as I'm painting, now the glazing liquid doesn't give a gloss or anything to it. All it does is slow down that dry process so that I can move the pigment a little bit more than I might be able to do if I just use the straight acrylic paint, if that makes sense. It gives it an oily, kind of a slicker effect, which will, if you want to take some time with the canvas like I do, then I think you'll find that a liquid glazing compound. And if you want to know exactly what I use, I'll be more than happy to share that with you. But since I don't have sponsorships and I just do this live to help out creative people, I won't be promoting them. Now, once you've worked with your brushes, and I'm always going to start, with an idea, with possibly a pencil sketch. Then I'll reimagine that onto a canvas. At that point, you've got the brushes are the best effect. You can't beat your brushes. As a matter of fact, you can use a brush for the whole canvas, which I've done for most of my paintings, to be quite honest with you. But then there's also, if you want to get into more abstract or modern looking work, you can buy acrylic paint pens. They have brushes on one side. They have really nice, tight, fine lines on the other. Very useful tools if you're doing something more abstract. Um, so just a couple of things that I'll share with you. And then once you've completed your canvas, oils, there's nothing more magnificent than that little glimmer, that little shine that an oil painting has. Well, you can also take any acrylic painting, okay? And again, I'll share names with you at some point. But at this point, I'm not promoting companies or anything. I'm just trying to help artists uh, achieve their goals. So you want an acrylic medium, which is a varnish. Okay, you can varnish the canvas. Has to be obviously a varnish that's good for acrylics, but and then you get that high gloss look that you might have been missing if you were missing oil paintings. But just get out there, do something today that's creative again. And thanks again for chiming in. Uh, keep leaving the comments. Happy to have the subscribers growing. And again, this is Rodney Shropshire on an absolutely beautiful day. Wishing all of you guys nothing but peace and love. So I sign off. Peace, love, dove, my friend. May God bless you.